We go through a particular cycle called an OODA Loop hundreds of times a day. Why is that important to you and me? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Armed Citizen channel. My name is Mark, and I do this video mentorship for all armed citizens, be they new or experienced. I talk about the things that I think no one else talks about. So please, like my videos, subscribe, and share them with people of all political persuasions. Let's get into the content. If you haven't heard of OODA, it is an acronym that stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. Simply put, we observe the situation we're in. We orient ourselves to best address the situation, decide on the exact course of action, and finally act on it. This was first conceptualized by Colonel John Boyd in 1976, who went on to define the term as we now know it in 1986. It actually has its roots in his time as an F-86 pilot in Korea. Jet fighter combat was still new then, and a whole lot faster than the propeller-driven aircraft of just a few years prior. Basically, our pilot got a split-second flash picture of the enemy fighter. Our pilot, by that one sight picture, had to deduce the enemy's fighter's relationship to himself in a three-dimensional space, as well as his speed, direction, and more. Then decide on what maneuver to take, then execute the maneuver. The object was to get the enemy fighter in front of our pilot while simultaneously preventing the enemy fighter from getting behind him. And simply put, the one who could cycle that OODA loop faster won. In combat, whatever force we could run their OODA loop faster could get what's called under the enemy decision curve. The doctrine for the Soviet Army from post-World War II until it collapsed was everything had a plan.
What's his plan?
His plan?
Russians don't take a dump, son, without a plan.
And that meant timetables. A platoon or company had to make their objectives on time, not early, and especially not late. Miss your objective and you were in trouble. That's why it is said in the Soviet Army it took more courage to retreat than to advance. I really hate interrupting myself mid-tirade, but I just wanted to put in a real quick reminder to please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with all of your friends. That's how I grow this channel and get to more people. So, all right, back to myself. Let's say a Soviet lieutenant commanding a platoon unexpectedly found a U.S. NATO force getting ready to perform a flank attack. That second lieutenant would have to contact his superior, who would contact his superior, all the way up to the colonel at Battalion HQ, and request an airstrike or artillery barrage on the enemy location, then hopefully assigning reserve units to join them for the counterattack or defense. The battalion commander would then have to approve said request and then relay it to whoever needed to carry it out. By then it would be too late. The NATO forces would have commenced their attack or moved somewhere else. On the other hand, a U.S. platoon sergeant can call for support and have several B-52s, a couple Warthogs, and every tube of artillery in range, putting ordnance on target in minutes. There you go. If one side executes their OODA loop faster than the other, the faster one becomes the attacking force, even if it started as the defending force. Faster OODA looping means you get the attacker reacting to your actions rather than you responding to theirs. This is why you should constantly practice. Not just weapons drills, but mental scenarios. Like, if I was to attack me right now, how would I do it? Some of the methods of attack could be a distraction, surprise from behind, or just walk up and put one in your face. Now, you work out what you would do in each situation. Is cover or concealment near you that you can take advantage of? Escape routes to break contact. Can you retreat back to where you came from? And you work it all the way down, but not too far down. Remember, every decision or action has at least 3 outcomes. It doesn't take that many steps before you have to think of over 100 possibilities. So it's more of as it goes along. If you've kept your eyes up and are paying attention to what's going on around you, this realization can get you to have a couple of seconds to size up everything and start your OODA loop running before the bad guys have started theirs. Remember, who can run their OODA loop faster than the other side? That's the one that usually ends up winning the fight. I hope it's you. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. Just one last request that you like and subscribe and share with your friends, and send me some feedback on the way so I know where to go and what I might have messed up. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day.